Hello, here we are on the homepage of Steam. Well, not homepage. Hold up, this is really low. So I wanna go over something. I was talking to this person. I put up a trade on the TF2 discussions, the TF2 trade forum on Steam. I was like trading my Counter-Strike knife for TF2 or Counter-Strike skins. Send me an offer. The knife that I have are Shadow Daggers Ultraviolet. I just want to get this out there because maybe I am in the wrong. I didn't think I was to an extent. Again, I haven't traded Counter-Strike items since 2019 and probably before 2019. So maybe I'm out of the loop here. Websites like OP Skins that I used to use don't even exist anymore. I know that buff market exists, but for Counter-Strike skins, I know when people traded them, at least back when I traded, and maybe even now. Obviously, it's different for super high-end skins, but majority of the time, you use Steam market price, right? That's what I thought. That's what I assumed. That's what it seems like most people would go off of, I would assume. As you can see, the Steam price is $229. We click on that. We go over here. They've sold for $232 and $234. One of them is on the market for $229. Right, so $234. That's a pretty good price. And I kind of got into an argument. Well, not really an argument, but this guy kind of messaged me. He sent me a really personally, it's a crummy offer. It was shit. Basically, he basically said he sent me 15 TF2 keys and an unusual scatter gun, which is well worn, and it's got the cool effect, which is one of the worst effects you can have. It is only specialized kill streak, so there's that. It's not pro. It's not even pro kill streak, and it's priced on backpack.tf at 30 keys. By the way, we had a little bit of conversation after, and I said, your items, the skins, backpack.tf says it's worth 30 keys, and he's like, no, it actually isn't. And I said, okay, then what's the price of it? And he said it was 50 keys, which, sure, a well-worn, unusual scatter gun that's got the worst effect possible is 50 keys. Yeah, I believe. All right, 30 keys. So this offer is 30 plus 15 keys pure is 45 keys, which is really, really low, especially for my knife that has recently sold for $234. And even if you're going off of the current lowest price, it's still $229. I think anybody can realize 45 TF2 keys, not even all pure, by the way, one of them being an unusual weapon, which those of you that do trade TF2 know unusual weapons are kind of poopy to trade. It really is difficult to kind of trade them to an extent, especially a really low tier, basically shitty unusual weapon. I mean, it's well worn, it's like really crappy. And again, it's not like I wouldn't trade for it, but 45 keys is a really low offer. The guy asked me, he said, how much is your knife and keys? And I said, okay, well, if we value TF2 keys at $2, which I would assume most people do, I feel like most people don't go off market price. You usually go off of like $1.8 or $2. Usually I do $2 and not 2.5. Some people could do 2.5 or 2.4, but I tend to do 2 because on third-party websites like marketplace.tf, other places where if you can usually get them for cheaper, way cheaper than $2.50. You can actually get them, if we go on marketplace.tf right now, you can get them for like what, $2.09. So I said, okay, well, if we do $2, and maybe he wants to price them higher or change the price, whatever, depending on what, whatever the person wants to. So I was like, okay, $2. What was it? It was like, say, $2.34. I took the last price that the knife sold for, $2.34. That is not right, $2.34. And I divided it by $2, and I was like, okay, 117 keys around there. Personally, due to it being TF2 to Counter-Strike, usually TF2 items, you overpay for Counter-Strike. You usually give more for Counter-Strike items because there's better value in Counter-Strike items to an extent than there is in TF2 items. That's just, at least back, in the day when I traded a lot, and before there was the 7-day trade hold with Counter-Strike, that's what people did. You would usually always overpay for Counter-Strike skins, especially a knife or something. So 117, I was like, yeah, about 117. The person was like, let's go look at that real quick. Basically, the person said price and keys. I said knife last sold for $234. So if you price keys at $2, it's like 117 in keys. He then sent me that offer for the unusual weapon, and I was like that. I immediately declined it because I'm like, I was going to counter offer, but he didn't really have anything in the price range that was closest to me. And then he said the cheapest Shadow Daggers minimal wear are $118. Stat Track doesn't add that much. He said that, and I was like, bro, why the fuck are you trying to scam me out of these, basically? Because saying StatTrack doesn't add that much, like, I'm sorry that they sold for $234. Like, you can't, don't go around telling people straight up lies. This is a straight up fucking lie. StatTrack adds way more value to a fucking skin. Like, I'm not stupid, all right? Like, I've got, my account's over 5 years old. I've traded plenty of items. I'm not fucking stupid, all right? 180, like, it's not really difficult to look at the price of the items. Like, saying StatTrack doesn't add that much, if that was the case, then why the fuck is the recent sell history for over $200? If it didn't add that much, why are people paying $234, $232 for these knives? Why are they on the marketplace for $200+ then? Oh, well, it doesn't add that much money, but yet people are still buying them. I wonder why. Exchange items shouldn't be that much more expensive than their normal counterparts. It's dumb, you know? Anyway, he said that, and I was like, bro, legit, the last sale for StatTrack was at $234. That's just like, I'm like, that's just the facts. I don't know what to tell you. Then link removed, I guess. He linked StatTrack Shadow Daggers Ultraviolet Minimal Wear on Buff, and I love how the reference price literally says $229. As you can see right here, why does this say 1 yen? Okay, so 1,200 yen, which here's the problem with Buff 163. Buff 163 is the Chinese version of Buff, which I wouldn't use because I'm not fucking Chinese. This is what I told him. I was like, yeah, I get people use Buff, and yes, they are 1,200. You also have the problem of, this is for straight up fucking cash. Buff is used for cash. Remember that. So for those of you out there that are like, oh, he's right, the price is lower. Yes, if you pay direct cash for them. That is if I were to pay 1,200 yen. Now, if we looked up yen to USD and we put in 1,200 yen, it would come out to $9. This guy's selling his knives for $9? That's Japanese yen, Chinese. They're selling for 174. That's if I were to pay in yen for cash, by the way, and that's if I decided to buy them off of the Chinese version of Buff, which from what I know, you can't even use Buff if you're in the US or the Chinese version. As far as I know, I think you can, but you have to get the yen from people and do price things. If you're in the US or if you're not in China, from what I know, the Buff site that majority of people would actually use is Buff Market. This is where the prices are in USD and whatnot. As you can see, USD, here's all of the other currencies, USD, CNY, all of that. So if I were to buy the skin to begin with, I would use Buff Market, which I told him that. What did he even say? Wait, what did he even say? He said, he linked Buff, and he said, okay, well, I'm going off the Steam Market. I said, if you're going to send crummy offers like the last one, just don't trade me. Or no, he said the cheapest Shadow Daggers are 118. That's minimal wear without StatTrack. Then he links me Buff, which they're still $174. And he said, I said, okay, well, I'm going off Steam Market. If you're going to send crummy offers like the last one, then just don't trade me. You know, that it's that simple. Obviously, all of this should have ended when I just declined the trade offer. It's like, okay, well, clearly I don't want your items. It was a bad offer. He said, I said, also, Buff is for direct cash, not item trades, by the way, which is true. If you were to use Buff Market or Buff 163, you're paying in cash. You don't trade item to item on Buff. You fucking pay in cash. So of course it would be a little bit cheaper. I'm not trading my knife for $170 worth of Counter-Strike, or I'm not trading my knife for $170 worth of TF2 items. I'm trading it, at this point, I'm selling it for cash. And I said also, as you can see, I said Buff is used for direct cash, not trades, by the way. And he said, well, you're overpricing your knife because with keys, so now he's pricing keys lower than what I had them at. So he's like, if you price keys at $1.8 or $1.8, that's only 65 keys. Wherever the fuck 65 keys came from. Where did 65 keys come from? So if we're going off of Buff Market, which from what I know, $174, if we go right here and we look at the calculator, 174 divided by 1.8, it's 96 fucking keys. What the fuck? I didn't even realize that because I didn't even go on the website and check myself. I didn't even realize this. But now that I'm looking, he's still wrong. I'm going to respond to this. Also, So yeah, I'm going to respond to that real quick. I said that. So yeah, then there's that. So he shows me that, and I said yes. Also, buff is for direct cash and item trades. By the way, well, you're overpricing your knife because with keys it's 1.86. That's only 65 keys. Where the fuck did he get 65 keys from? Now that I'm thinking about this, genuinely, where did he get this from? Is he going off of the fucking price for the minimal wear non-stat track ones? Because here's the price. Ultraviolet minimal wear stat track 1200. That's still 96 fucking keys, bro. If we're going off of your price, where like you're 6, 7, 8, 9, you're 30 keys off. How brain dead are TF2 players? Genuinely, I'm genuinely being like, I'm trying to be nice, all right? Because shit like this aggravates me. And then you have this guy, which we're going to go over this. This guy proceeds to tell me that I'm the one in the fucking wrong, even though his 65 keys is from fucking out of thin air. He literally linked me the knife. All right, this is the sell price right now, not buy orders. We're going off of sell. Literally his link that he sent me would turn out to 96 keys if we're pricing them at his price. And yet somehow he got it wrong. How the fuck is this even possible? I didn't even realize this because I was just like, whatever, this guy's spewing shit out of his ass. I'm not even going to look into it. Like, I just don't care anymore. But yeah, I said, well, you're overpricing your knife because he told me I'm overpricing it. If anything, I'm overpricing the knife by what? 10 keys? Yeah, 10 more keys and it's 107. So what? I'm overpricing it by 20. But that's because I'm going off of fucking Steam Marketplace. Which even then, 96 is a 30 key fucking difference, my guy. I said, LMAO, get out of here, bro. Quit trying to shark, because it was very clear that by his first response, I genuinely thought he was trying to shark me. I mean, you're sending me a 45 key offer. You're proceeding to tell me that stat track doesn't add to the value of an item. Hello, really quickly, I like the button, and I kind of looked this up because he said it kind of hurts the wearer. Having a stat track on the item gives it more scratches. And I looked into it, and it's like 50-50. Some stat track items are worth less than their non-stat track counterparts, and others are worth more. So it just seems like it really just is random, honestly. So he's wrong, and I guess I'm technically wrong. Like, I don't know if granted, I don't immediately, I said quit trying to shark, and the problem is I said that because he proceeded to go in depth with it and try to explain to me how I was wrong. It would be different if he said, in the beginning, I genuinely was just taking it at face value, and I was like, oh, this guy just doesn't really know how Counter-Strike trading works and doesn't really know how to check prices properly, and he's just like too new, he doesn't really know what he's doing. But then, trying to correct me and shit is just like, okay, go fuck yourself. Seriously, I'm not about to get fucking sharked or scammed by fucking dumbass over here. Anyway, LMAO, get out of here, bro. You're trying to shark. He said, good luck trying to sell a stat track knife for 2 times the price unless it's to another idiot. I said, lol, considering it's already sold for 234 on Steam, probably won't be that difficult. Good luck with sharking people you trade, though. I said, also, since I'm, not Chinese, I'd probably end up using the non-Chinese version of buff and not the Chinese version. 234 after Steam market fees is $200. $200 divided by 2.43. Key price, Steam community market is 84, which sure, let's do that, 200. I would assume he's right. Divided by 2.43. That's completely wrong. I fucked that up. Divided by 2. Yeah, he's probably right on this one. Yeah, 82. Okay, yeah, little, give or take. 84 keys, around 82 keys. How did you fuck up your own math? I'm gonna pretend that he probably didn't use a calculator. He just right off the dome, So 84 keys, it's only a 2 key off. But okay, 84 keys is still higher than 65. You are proving yourself wrong, my guy. You proved yourself wrong. What the fuck? Please, people, for people in TF2 or Counter-Strike, if you're getting into trading, it really isn't that difficult to learn how to trade, because YouTube and Google are your friend. If the first thing I decided to do, because I was like, maybe I'm in the wrong. That's what I thought. I thought maybe I'm in the wrong. So I went on YouTube, all right? And I looked up. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm in the complete wrong. So I see the First thing I see is how to price check with skins with stickers. That's by ohnepixel. That's not it. How to price check. Best ways to check CSGO skin prices. This is the video I watched. The first thing he says is literally community market. Guess what this guy does? Guess what he does? He opens up the community market for the weapon and checks the price. This is fucking crazy. Guess what he does? He looks at the last sale price. Wow! Holy moly, bro. This is crazy. Look, I know I'm being super loud and crazy about this, but it's just like, it kind of does anger me because this guy not only contradicted himself because, 65 keys, I don't know where the fuck he's pulling that out of thin air. One, you offered me 40 fucking keys in items, by the way. Half items, half pure, not even, 15 keys pure, and then 30 in items, which is only 45 keys. He offered me 45 keys. How are you telling me that the item is 65 while sending me a trade offer that's only worth 45 keys and then proceeding to fuck up your own division bro, and then proceeding to contradict yourself on the price of it? I guess if you're pricing it at 1.8, but then again, if you price the knife at $1.8 or price the keys at $1.8, oh my God, dude, stupidity runs deep, I swear to God. He said 234 after the Steam market, and then I said, okay, but you're trading me, not buying it for cash. And then he said, you're the one pricing it off of the Steam community market price. Yeah, because that's how much it has sold for. I'm not selling you the item off of the Steam community market. I'm trading it to you for TF2 items. And then, of course, I responded. I said, that's because you asked me to price it in keys. I'm not going to trade you anymore, bro. This is where I just ended. I was like, move on with your day, man. I don't care anymore. Thank you. Have a good day. And then I responded just now. As you saw, I was recording. I said, oh, so I just price checked the knife on Buff. 1,200 Chinese yen is about $174. And if we're pricing keys at what you said, which is $1.8, and it comes out to 96.66 repeating. All right, I'm back. Let's see what Bozo the Clown has to say about this one. Let's see. Does it come through? I can't wait to see. Scattergun isn't 30. Backpack.ps. Backpack doesn't get skins price right. Okay, what's the price of it? Because guess what? I am also going to find the price of it. Okay, no unusual ones on the market. It's gonna be a tough one. It's so hard to price it. It's so hard to price it too. It's like a low tier skin on top. It's a purple rarity, but 1,200 RMB one is still overpriced but cheaper than what you said, stating that StatTrak knives are rarely worth more and usually worth less than normal knives because StatTrak scratches the knife. The 1,200 RMB one is still overpriced than what you said. I was just stating that are rarely worth more. It's day 2, as in I decided I wasn't going to upload this video, and then I decided I was going to. And so this is day 2. He's sent more. He's talked more on this thread, and I've spoke with him more. And I'm going to clear some things up quickly. One of that being that the StatTrak scratch thing. I didn't even think about this, even though I own a pair of StatTrak knives. That what he means by scratch, because I immediately thought of the StatTrak counter on the weapons. You know, how it's just like that square graphic box, whereas on the knife, it is actually scratched into the knife, which is true. And I get where he's coming from with StatTrak knives being, people might not want them because they're technically scratched, because to get the number on the knife, it's scratched into it. Here's the problem. That would only really matter for super high-end knives. Yeah, I get it. To most traders exclusively, they're not going to care about the StatTrak because they don't play the game and don't use the knife. But somebody like me, who's got already quite a few amount of kills just in the 7 days alone that I've had the knife, I do like StatTrak. So I can see where it's coming from with the StatTrak. It does scratch the weapon, but at the same time, it's not like a scratch that you would find because it's a really low wear. It's a number that changes based on your kills. I think most people would want an item that tracks your kills, especially in this day and age where you literally can't trade the items for at least 7 days after getting them. What else are you supposed to do with them? Let them rot in your inventory? I might as well play with them. So I guess I know where he's coming from. And yeah, for maybe some higher end items and certain skins, you might not want the scratches. And I get it. Yeah, it can make it look not as clean. But at the same time, it counts your kills, and I feel like it really is 50-50. And I looked into that more. Basically, I was like, it's kind of a coin flip right here. I said, yeah, I checked. It seems it's whether a coin flip, whether it's worth more. I just spelled everything wrong. Whether it's worth more or less, it still doesn't take away the fact that mine still sold for over $200 and is over $200 on the Steam community market. And something that I will say that I didn't even think of when I was talking about this yesterday in my little fit of rage, I guess rage, I wasn't really raging, is that, yeah, I know traders nowadays do use Buff to price their items, and Buff, it was a huge site about a year ago before Buff Market existed, whereas before Buff Market existed, it was just Buff 163, and I know that that was like the biggest site because I think Buff came onto the scene right after OP Skins got basically taken down or whatever happened there. But Buff Market is what I would use, and I really wouldn't price my skins off of Buff unless they have a really expensive sticker on them and I'm trying to compare a gun with a, say, cattle sticker on it, you know, a 2014 cattle sticker on it, with, you know, other skins of the same area. Or if I'm trying to knife, you know, a ruby or something really, really high end that you're not going to see on the Steam community market because it's too expensive or too different to be priced on the Steam community market. As you can see, this Glock 18 Gamma Doppler is a Emerald Pearl. Is that what it's just Emerald? It's an Emerald version, the all green version. So like, yeah, that or this not ruby, sapphire, this gut knife Doppler, the sapphire, right? Gut knife sapphire would obviously be worth way differently than just a normal Doppler on the Steam community market. I completely understand that. You know, you're going to check other websites. You're probably gonna go off Buff and what the lowest seller is on there, or Skin Baron maybe, or just any site that has people selling the skins themselves for cash. And Buff is the biggest site, I would assume, and that's the one site everybody uses. So I can completely understand using that. But for a weapon like my StatTrak knives, at that point, those people are on Buff to quick sell the item for cash. If I wanted to sell my knife for cash that I can have in my bank account or PayPal account right now, I'm using Buff because the Steam community market doesn't let you transfer the funds from the Steam community market into your account. Another thing I want to bring up is I've never seen anybody in my entire life take the the tax. Okay, right here. So where did we leave off on? That's because my price. Yeah, I said, I don't know anymore. Have a good day. 1,200 Chinese yen is 174. The knife that he literally linked me on buff.com was going for $174, or Buff 163, I'll say. So like wherever the fuck 112 came from. And the problem is, if we look back, because I was looking at this even more, he is wrong since the beginning. Since the beginning, he's completely wrong. I didn't even realize this until I looked into it last night and again today. He says the cheapest Shadow Daggers minimal wear are $118. StatTrak doesn't add much. Well, clearly it does because, let's go over here, go to my Counter-Strike inventory, let's copy these. After he said that, I was like, wait a minute, I think I've seen the price of them before. Oh. 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 This is, oh. Even if you take it, even if we don't count the two that have sold for over 180, oh. So, Mr. Yes, not only were you wrong about the price on Buff and all of that, you were wrong since your second comment. The second comment, but the first comment that started this entire thing was completely wrong. Literally, the comment that started this entire 3-page thread of me and you talking was completely and utterly fucking wrong. I shouldn't have to say anything else. Everybody does stupid things when trading, all right? I've had my fair share of shady moments when I'm trading people, and I send out shitty trades and crummy trades all the time. That's not a scam. That's not a shark. You're just sending them a trade offer. Who knows? The person might accept it. They might not just straight up give a shit. I send people crappy trades all the time. I'll actually... Yeah, maybe the for 118 bucks, the battle scarred aren't even $118. Oh no, they're close. They're close. So the battle scarred ones are. Here's an offer that I sent to this guy. This is a little bit more fair. I mean, I didn't really price check it too much, but at least for the extension that I have, this knife comes out to 160. This comes out to 80. That's a little bit of a $40 overpay. I mean, my knives are going for what, 223, 234. Actually, let me check the yeah, still 229. The guy still has them on the market for 229. I know the price on here says 173, but I think that's going off of the buff price or some other site. Steam market price, okay, 247. It's like $10 off. It's a little bit. But I've sent some horrendous offers. I mean, one of my favorite offers that I sent immediately after recording the video talking about this guy was this one right here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. Butterfly knife tiger tooth for my shadow daggers, and I said, no hurt in trying. There's nothing wrong with just sending trades. Steam even has it in their description, and multiple other websites are like, if you're going to report somebody for attempting to scam you or whatever when they're trading you, just sending a trade offer isn't an attempted scam or shark. I've sent out plenty of shitty trades on the other person's end on my part. And I've had plenty of trades sent to me that were just downright horrendous. I mean, this guy literally just sent me a trade offer for 2 of my cases. Yeah, same thing with this guy. This guy said add me for trade, but he's just a scammer. As you can see, since it's a public Steam profile, by the way, and it's not his real name or anything, this is fine. I'm not like outing him. Don't go after this guy. He's really done nothing wrong. And I'm going to defend him right here and say there's a possibility that he genuinely doesn't fully know the extent of the best way to check, and maybe I'm even in the wrong too. I could agree with that. Maybe somebody in the comments, you know, maybe ohnepixel is here watching the video, goes into the comments and absolutely rips me into asshole on how I'm completely wrong and this guy is actually in the right. That would suck for me, but at least I would learn how to actually trade then at that point, and maybe I would realize that I'm doing everything wrong myself. Again, I really thought of it today. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, he kind of did try to shark me and whatnot, and he obviously he went in depth with it and was like, hey, you did this and you did that, and I'm like, yeah, man. Like, I mean, like, he literally went in detail on, like, why, like, literally, Shadow Dagger's minimal wear are 118 bucks. His first response to me, the first thing that started this entire thing, was completely wrong. The non-stat track ones are nowhere near 118. Maybe if you're going off the buff price, which I think he then linked me the buff price of the minimal wear ones. Yeah, minimal wear Shadow Daggers are selling for 880 yen. 880 yen is $127. He's still wrong. He's still wrong. He's still wrong. He's still wrong. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I tried to be nice, dude. I tried to help you, man. I tried, dude. I literally tried to be nice. Because I've had a couple people in the past from usually TF2. I've had one person try to trade me an item, and he genuinely thought that the in-game TF2 marketplace, you know, for those of you that trade TF2 items, know that the Manco store in-game, the Valve store that you can buy basic weapons from and whatnot, is severely overpriced. I had a guy trade me an item and think that that was the actual price of it. And I was like, no, brother, like, we use backpack.tf when trading. Like, I was really nice to him about it. I was like, yo, that's like a really bad, I think I declined it or I countered it. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's like a really bad offer, my guy. And he was like, no, it's worth $5 or however much in the Manco store. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. We do not use the Manco store. We use backpack.tf to trade. If you want to check your price, you go on there. He probably didn't accept that. He probably thought, he's like, I'm not clicking random website. That's probably what he said, I would assume. And I was just like, man, I'm sorry, but that's what we use. Like, I don't know what to tell you, you know, and he's new, like, obviously. So maybe this guy kind of has it a little bit warped. Like, he's like, oh, this is the website that people use to buy things, so this is where we price it. And yeah, like, you can use it to price check your items, but you have the problem of this is for cash, not for items. You're trading me TF2 items for, I just clicked, you're trading me TF2 items, a Counter-Strike skin, which personally, I would assume, other than the keys, Counter-Strike skins are way more liquid than TF2 items. My knife is 1,000,000 times more liquid, which means easier to sell and get cash for, or closest to, than your unusual scattergun. I'm sorry to break it to you, but unusual weapons are a bitch to trade, unless it's like something really nice skin. But even a really nice skin is still pretty hard to trade. And by that, I mean you just might go a while without getting one. It really depends, especially for a well-worn skin. That's the worst effect that you can get for an unusual weapon, which is cool. Cool is the worst effect. Yeah, it's cool. He said it was worth 50 keys, which the problem with that is unless there's another one on the market for the exact same price, it's not worth 50 keys. And that's just a price that you brought up and made up yourself. Again, like there's nothing wrong with that. People make crappy trades all the time. I make crappy trades. I'm not going to get mad at somebody for making not even a crappy trade. It might be a good trade in their eyes for all I know. You know, I send weird trades and horribly lopsided trades all the time. Low balls. I don't care, dude. Like, it's allowed. It's not like you're not allowed to. Horrible low balls for my item, and I just counter offer the trade, and then we work something out. And maybe I do get an offer I like. Maybe they get something they like. It's happened plenty of times. Yeah, but I would say that if you're trading TF2 for Counter-Strike, you're not going to go off buff prices because, one, I can't sell your TF2 items on buff, dipshit. Another thing about that, if we're pricing items off of their buff price, which is the price that you would sell it for cash, not on the Steam market, that means that I would be pricing your items off of marketplace.tf, meaning that whatever is closest to the rarity and worth of your weapon on marketplace.tf, that's what I would do. So I would find a well-worn, you know what, let's do it right now. Let's find an effect grade. His was commando grade. Oh, scatterguns. These are field tested, battle scarred, well worn, 60 bucks. I would say, you know, scattergun is a really nice thing. Here it is. This is field tested, by the way, so it's a better rarity than your item. So right here, it would be about $70 if I wanted to buy a better wear, by the way. Sure, you could take in that his was specialized kill streak. Yeah, so here's a scattergun right here, field tested, which is a better wear than well worn, by the way. Same effect, and it's going for $60. So I would probably compare it closer to that price for the most part. Maybe even 70, but yeah, 60 I would say. So I think that's actually more than 30 keys. Actually, no, that is 30 keys, especially if you multiply it by 2. I mean, I guess we're going off marketplace.tf. So actually, he was pricing keys at $1.8, which is less than I was pricing them. So if we're going off of his pricing of keys, $60 divided by 1.8, that comes out to 33.3 keys. So I don't know where you got 50 from. 50 keys, you know, 50 times 2 is 100. So that's if we're going off my pricing. And if we're going off your pricing of 1.8, 50 times 1.8 is what, like 90? Okay, so $90. For $90, I can get, for $10 more, I can get a factory new cool effect. Ooh, minimal wear for that one. Field tested for that one. Let's go a little bit down. Right here, 89 bucks. I can get a factory new Enable rocket launcher, which this, I don't know about you guys, but this looks a million times better than a well-worn scattergun with the cool effect. Personally, that's how, that's at least for me, that's what I would think. I don't know, but then again, that is $5 more than the actual price that I just said. So let's find something even closer. Black box, well-worn. I am a soldier main. Ooh, $88. This one's battle scarred. Field tested, well worn, field tested. These are all pretty good. Oh, here we go. Just a bunch of skins that I can apply myself. I like this skin a lot. Cool pumpkin, $79.99. That's less than 50 keys. Yeah, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm price checking your items for you, buddy. And that's if we're going, obviously that's if we're going off buff prices, but item to item, and especially for an item like mine that isn't a sapphire or something that would be considered over market price of, I would assume I just go off of Steam market price, especially if I'm trading the item. That's what I go off of. I don't know why most people would go off buff when an item like this you would most likely sell on Steam, right? I would assume, unless you're trying to get direct cash for it, which I'm not. And I said, yeah, no way, it's worth 50 keys. Bro, you legit. And then he said this. I said, either way, you're still trying to shark me. Your pricing is so off for 50 keys. He said, I understand you're frustrating that the knife isn't worth as much as you thought, but there's no reason to resort to name calling. It's not name calling. I'm telling you what you were actually doing is sharking, because you're proceeding to tell me that the knife is worth way less than it is. And even if my knife wasn't stat track, and even if I decided to play games with you and pretend that the knife wasn't stat track and price it at the same price of the minimal wear version, you're still over $50 fucking off of the price, you fucking dipshit. So how about that? At least for Steam Marketplace. Obviously, if we're going off buff market, you're still off by $10 fucking, dipshit. Steam blocks the link to the 118 one. No, it doesn't. The problem is the 118 one doesn't fucking exist anymore because somebody probably bought it. I said, those aren't StatTrak, though, so no, it's not the same price, which is true, because the StatTrak ones are a completely different fucking price. He then said, did you miss the whole 2 comments on why StatTrak knives are usually the same price? That doesn't matter when the market itself is literally telling you it's a different fucking price. Yeah, I'm going to go off the fucking price that Buff and Steam Market says because it's worth way more. Why wouldn't I? I'm not going to undervalue my fucking items like a dipshit or undervalue over $100 to $118 like this dipshit is. Yeah, it might be in your benefit to do that, but how about this? And the best part about this is, remember how I said his scattergun was worth 30 keys, and then he proceeded to correct me, telling me it's 50? Weird. It's almost like you don't like your items being fucking priced lower than they actually are, dipshit. Okay, I had like 10 more minutes of talking left, but this guy responded again. Dude, he's wasting his life. This is so stupid. Look at what he says. He says, 180 is still higher than the 118. That was me. So he said, still lower than what you said it's worth, plus overprice. 180 is what, $40 more? And that's the Buff price. Like, dude, I said, yeah, def overpriced when it's selling at the price that they're like, I said 223 because that's the price that it was selling at. It's not overpriced. Like, yeah, because I guess multiple people are buying overpriced things. Like, overpriced, have you seen the Counter-Strike market? Everything is overpriced. Everything is skyrocketing in price. Like, genuinely, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at the market and see everything going up in price. Like, yeah, I'm going to price my items higher, dude. And no, it's not overpriced if it's selling at that price. Like, I'm sorry, that's what it's going for. Anyway, I'm done responding to this guy because I'm done with the bullshit. He's probably going to respond again and just keep telling me I'm wrong because stupidity runs deep. The problem with really stupid people like this guy is that it's impossible to win against them because they're never wrong and they can never lose because they're too stupid to realize they've already lost. So have a good day and good evening, good night, and I'll see you in the next one.